Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Shanam Santanki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tada tadam ishasya bhaktanam sham abhipsataha anugraham manyamanaha pratishtam dishamuttaram tada tadam ishasya bhaktanam sam abhipsataha anugraham manyamanaha pratishtam dishamuttaram. Would you like to recite?
Tada tadam ishasya bhaktanam sam abhipsataha anugraham manyamanaha pratishtam dishamuttara.
Translation and translation purport by His Divine Grace Swami Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki jai. I think I took this as special mercy of the Lord, who always desires benediction for his devotees, and so thinking I started for the purport. Confidential devotees of the Lord see in every step a benedictory direction of the Lord. What is considered to be an odd or difficult moment in the mundane sense is accepted as a special mercy of the Lord. Mundane prosperity is a kind of mental fever, and by the grace of the Lord, the temperature of this mental fever is gradually diminished. And spiritual health is obtained step by step. Mundane people misunderstand it. Amagyantimarandasya jnanam jahasalakaya chakshurmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Vadanti Saya Vadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sajjatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sadivam Savadetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Snadhetanna Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Cha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasha Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauritaсе Namo He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapte Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Tute Devi Pranamami Hare Hare Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyacha Kripa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaur Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna. So I'm not qualified to speak on this exalted subject matter, Srimad Bhagavatam, on such a great devotee like Narad Muni, but to the mercy of the Parampara, to glorify them and for purification we speak. So this verse is being talked about Narad Muni to Vyasadeva. This is a conversation going between Narad Muni and Vyasadeva. And this conversation, Narad Muni is talking about, so what had happened? So till now, I'll just give a brief recap. I think last week, Bhaktivinoda Prabhu took the class, talked about the Bhakti Vedantas. So the whole point was about the Bhakti Vedantas. So Narada the boy was a small boy. Now there's a very interesting story of Narad Muni's birth. In past life, Narad Muni was the son of Lord Brahma. It was in different kalpa. Then just like Chatushka Maharaj said, we will not get married, Narad Muni also said, I don't want to get married. This is not this day of Brahma. This is previous day of Brahma. And Narad Muni is telling that one who wants to get liberated should never go into material sense enjoyment, and I will never want to get married. And Brahma gets little angry. Lord Brahma gets little angry in the previous kalpa, and he cursed Narad Muni that he become a husband of 50 apsaras. And Narad Muni counter cursed Brahma that your worship will not happen for 3 kalpas. This comes from Brahma Vaivarta Purana. So your worship will not happen for the 3 kalpas. So Brahmaji cursed Narad Muni and Narad Muni cursed Brahma. And then Brahmani said, so first you will become a Gandharva and then you become a son of a maid servant and then you will come back to me. And Narad Muni cursed Brahma and finally it happened. Now Narad Muni becomes Upabharan. His name becomes Gandharva, named Upabharan. And there he had 50 wives. And one of the chief wives was Malvati. Now, one time, Narad Muni comes in the assembly, get attracted by Rambha, and in the Bhagavatam, Narad Muni says they start talking about cinema songs or some poetry glorifying the beauty of the Apsaras. Seeing this, Brahmaji gets angry and cursed him again to die and to become a son of a Shudrani. And Narada dies, but his wife starts to go for doing tapasya. And she does tapasya to curse all the demigods. And all the demigods are fearful of the curse of this. She was a daughter of Chitrata, and she goes and curses, and she goes and do tapasya. in order to ask a benediction and curse all the demigods. And all the demigod goes to Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu says that yes, yes, yes. So they were fearful of the power of a chaste lady. So all the demigod goes to Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu says, you all go there, no problem, I'll come as a boy. And Krishna comes as a boy there. Krishna comes as a boy and a Brahmana, young Brahmana, and talk to this lady and talk about, why you're asking for mental benediction. You should ask for spiritual, Vaikuntha, service to the Lord. And she was very impressed. And he called Yamraj and Mrityu. Yamraj said, what can I do? First, Mrityu glances, then I take a person. Mrityu said, what can I do? It's the call of the Supreme Lord. Who ordered? What can I do? Then, so we are all helpless. And then finally, Lord Vishnu, and nobody knew that he is Lord Vishnu. This thing is a young Brahmana. And young Brahmana, see, Lord Vishnu said he will come, but he has not appeared. Then was saying, no, don't blaspheme Lord Vishnu. All the demigods will start telling him that don't blaspheme Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu is all pervading, so that way he is present everywhere. And then the Brahmana and finally convinces Lord Brahma, okay, you revive the sun back, otherwise she will curse. And Brahma revives back Narad Ubharna alive, and they both husband and wife lives, they retired to the forest and they live for a long time, and finally Ubharna leaves his body and becomes again the son of a Shudrani. Now what happened? There was a king who married a cowherd woman, but he had no issue. So this cowherd woman went to a sage named Narada to get a child, and somehow he refused, and somehow it got conceived, and finally this Shudra woman got a boy, a cowherd woman, got a boy named Narada. But after the birth of Narada, his husband died. So now she remained alone. So what she would do with a small child, she came to a school of a Brahmana, a Gurukul, and she was doing the work of a Dasi there, maid servant. And that's how Narada was born. And during the monsoon season, the Bhakti Vedantas came. And those Bhakti Vedantas were Chatush Kumaras in the past Kalpa. They were there. So they came and they came to bless Narada. And the mother served the Bhakti Vedantas, Narada served the Bhakti Vedantas, took their remnants, hear Krishna Katha from them. And that's how the Bhakti of Narada boy started. And because of that, he got greatly attracted to Krishna's pastime. To Krishna and Krishna's pastime. They also taught him how to meditate on the Lord and how to worship the Supreme Lord. But unfortunately, what happened? His mother died. And as a 5-year-old boy, he has nobody, no one. And his mother dies. He just started chanting Hare Krishna and his mother dies. Now one may ask, अरे भगवान की भक्ति करी और ऐसा अनहोनी हो गया. So just think, when problems come in our life, what are our responses? When we are doing devotional service, generally we have an assumption. When we are doing devotional service, no problem should come in our life, isn't it? अभी हम भगवान के पास आ गए हैं तो कोई प्रॉब्लम हमारे जीवन में नहीं आना चाहिए. And we have come to the Lord with some desire. The Lord should fulfill that desire. So then people who come with desire, if the desire gets fulfilled, oh Lord बहुत अच्छे हैं, Lord के साथ टिके रहते हैं. And that's why sometimes for new people, Lord fulfill the desires also. So at least they come on the path of bhakti. But sometimes it may also happen due to the prarabdha karmas that a person is practicing bhakti and something wrong may happen in his life. And most of the devotees face a question, Prabhu, I am practicing bhakti. How this problem can come in my life? How do people behave in this way? How this anhoni can happen in my life? So generally, what will the response? Suppose somebody is doing devotional service and something wrong happens in the life. So generally, what is the response people have? Yes, you want to tell what the response people have generally if something wrong happen in their life while they are practicing bhakti. Okay, I can give a mic. Mic is a cordless mic is there. So let us take the responses. Then why when difficulties come in the life of devotees, what are their general attitudes? And why their attitudes are, that also should say. What they were expecting from devotional service, and because this not happen, then they showed that attitude. Yes, Abhay.
They might be desiring something from Krishna, and they don't get it, and something bad may happen also. And
They're desiring from something from Krishna. So what they're desiring?
they might be desiring for example, students may desire for good grades.
Good grades. Okay.
And if that doesn't happen, they'll just
I'm chanting 16 rounds every day, giving so much time. So even I should not, without my studying hard, I should get the best grade in the class. How many of you thought like that initially? Isn't it? This thought comes now. But then what happens?
due to various our reasons, because of
Our complacency. What happens?
Grades might not come as expected.
Yes.
And that time we may think, because of devotional service only, all time is going, but we are not focusing. That is the reason.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we'll leave devotional service. Like
You are able to hear those who do this on Zoom? You are able to hear the question answers? Okay. So due to which, so there was an expectation, if I do devotional service, I should naturally get a good grade. And when that does not happen, our faith may go down. So this is called conditional devotional service. If I do this bhakti, this should happen. If I do this should happen. And that's how our faith gets disturbed. Okay, very nice. Yes. Any other input? So when troubles come, what is generally our response, and why is that response? Okay, Vijay will want to share on behalf of other devotees.
So usually, when we start practicing bhakti, we don't take care of our health. So when problems come, especially with respect to health, so much trauma can happen. How could Lord do this to me?
So can you give more example, more elaboration upon that?
Usually, like I'm giving so much of time, energy, service of the Lord. So
Neglecting my health.
So we also tell that jo icha tumhara haro bhi rakhoge jo that we tell and expect Lord to take care of our health. Where we do the services at the cost.
And services are due to our passion or the instruction. That is also important. Because we have a passion to do some service and we will do it at the cost of our health. See, if Lord tells some service, then Lord takes care also of devotees. Yes.
And afterwards, when we do it with passion and the whole collapses, blame the process.
We blame, okay, this all problem happen. Yes, so you not take care. Nice. Okay, which all the other problems we can find troubles in spiritual life. No examples, no troubles come up, but you're feeling shy to speak. What could be different responses when troubles come in our life? So I wanted some young devotees to speak. Young devotees to speak. Yes, I can want to speak something. Any ISC devotees, you want to speak something? What happens? Okay, what should be the right attitude when trouble comes in our life? Okay, thank you. Hannah, if you don't get job, then how you feel? See, I'm practicing devotion service. I should get the first job. Krishna should give me the first available job in the first month only. So we have expectation. But what happens? According to our preparation, only we'll get a job. Right? See, generally, when we practice bhakti, we think हमारे life में सब कुछ जैसा हम चाह रहे हैं वैसा होना चाहिए. हमने फील जैसा हम चाह रहे हैं वैसा होना चाहिए, अभी हम भक्ति कर रहे हैं. We have that expectations. Now Narada boy, he didn't see. That's what Bhagavatam trains us how to understand, how to live a life of a devotee. This is the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the 6th chapter. And what it is talking that somebody was practicing bhakti and his mother left. Mother was bitten by a snake. Right? He's doing bhakti. Lord should protect his mother. We should feel or not like this. Why should not have Lord protected his mother? Is doing bhakti. Lord says, Kante pati jani name bhaktya pranashati. And his mother died. How do you see that then? Okay, then how to see that why Narad Muni's mother died? He was doing bhakti. He came in association devotees. His mother should not have died. And that too is a 5-year-old boy. Then why did his mother die? Because of previous karma, yes. But then Lord can remove the karma. Purification. What purification? Huh? See, yes, naturally, it was a prarabdha karma that his mother died. But what happens? In the previous verse, it is said, she wanted to look after my maintenance properly, but because she was not independent, she was not able to do anything for me. The world is under the full control of the Supreme Lord, therefore, everyone is like a wooden doll in the hands of a puppet master. When I was a mere child of 5 years, I lived in a Brahmana school. I was dependent on my mother's affection and had no experience of different lands. And once upon a time, a poor mother, when going out one night to milk a cow, was bitten by the leg on the leg by a serpent, influenced by supreme time. So influenced by supreme time means kala. Kala means karma, prarabdha karmas. And Prabhupada writes that this is a way of dragging a sincere soul nearer to God. The poor boy was being looked after only by his affectionate mother, and yet the mother was taken from the world by the supreme will in order to put him completely at the mercy of the Lord. Right? So I took this, but what is the beauty of this is Narada did not resent it against the Lord. What Narada is saying? I took this as a special mercy of the Lord who always desire benediction for his devotees. And so thinking, I started for the North. See, previously starting for North means you don't come back. I just went this week, last Wednesday, to Rishikesh, and the back flow of Ganges, it goes. And there's a way to Badrinath and Kedarnath. So previously, the conception about going north means you go, you don't come back. If you're going toward Badrinath, Kedarnath, Muktinath, it's one-way process. If you come back, it's good. So therefore, people after retirement in one process stage, they will then start their travel for Badrinath and Kedarnath. आए तो आए, नहीं आए तो नहीं आए. भगवान के धाम चले जाएंगे क्योंकि तीर्थ यात्रा पे थे. And it was considered auspicious. If somebody dies without the knowledge of his relatives, it was considered auspicious on a Tirth Yatra. And people wanted to give their life like this because there will be no attachment. So they can go to the abode of the Lord by leaving the body like this. But if they die in midst of all relatives, then they will die thinking of the relatives. And that will create a metal bond, and again they will take a metal birth there. So that's why people wanted to die without that. That's why Dhritarashtra and Gandhari, they went in the forest, die without anybody's knowledge. So no more attachment there. So this Narada boy proceeded to North means now he's just completely of the Supreme Lord. So till now he was not able to practice, but he took it as a mercy of the Lord. And Prabhupada is saying, confidential devotee of the Lord, seen every step a benedictory direction of the Lord. What is considered to be an odd or difficult moment in the mundane sense is accepted as a special mercy of the Lord. So this, see, generally, devotee, so mother had a prarabdha karma to die. There's a verse says that influence of Kala, she died. But the Lord will also see whether this thing is favorable for a devotee or not. And Lord felt that yes, it is favorable for Narad Muni, that now he is shackled by the bondage of his mother. So mother anyway to die, but I will take care of my devotee, myself. So though his mother died, Lord took responsibility of another boy, that I will take care. See, I'll give one example. There was one Mr. Dosa. He was a Muslim. And he got initiated by Srila Prabhupada. But his family was creating a lot of problem. And every day he would travel 2 hours to come to the temple and go back. And his family was against, Muslim community was against. A lot of difficulty happening in his life. And he took initiation and next day he died. He took initiation and next day he died. And it was a Prabhupada, you gave initiation. He should not die. Prabhupada said, no, Krishna has put him in a right position. Why you worry so much? And Prabhupada said, see, he was so much being troubled by his family. He is not able to practice bhakti. Now, wherever he died and take birth again in the next life, he will continue his bhakti from there. And he will continue his bhakti from there, and he will be in the right position to practice bhakti without troubles. And after 1 week, his wife also became a devotee. And they start living near the temple. So all things went good for that person. And see, if you don't believe, then you should read the story of Raghav Das. Right? Raghav Das. So what was Raghav Das? He passed away in a car accident. He was a devotee practicing for 1 or 2 years. The next life, he became Ratnavali Dasi. He came in an Indian family. He was a born European, but then next life he became a Indian and in a body of a Mataji. How many have heard this Raghav Das story? Most of you heard it. Raghunath Das, Ratnavali. I've taken many classes. So her devotional service, his devotional service continued as her in the next life. And this Mataji is still there in Britain, in UK. Vishal Garamko was telling me, she says, this life is a last life. I want to take bhakti very seriously. Already I've done last life, I could not make it. This life, I don't want to lose the chance. And I want to go back home, back to garden. This Ratnavali Dasi, she's there. Maybe we can invite her sometime. So the Lord thought that he's bound by the shackles, and mother will also get a great destination because the mother of a great soul. She is also, in a Shudrani serving the house of the Brahmanas and difficult life there. She will also get a good birth in heaven or beyond. And Narada boy went. And Narada took it as a mercy of the Lord. And what he did, this boy, he went through all forest. Think, a small boy is going through all forest. That's why Narada's disciples are Prahlad and Dhruva. Dhruva also going to forest, So Narad Muni in his life, he took this incident as a mercy of the Lord and goes to the forest there. And this, to the degree the devotee has faith that whatever Lord is doing in my life, he has a great plan for me to bring closer to him. Because the moment when we come to Krishna, you start chanting Krishna's name, Krishna is taking care of you. Krishna is taking care of you the moment you start chanting. And if you don't have belief, you can read Anand Vrindavan. How many have read this? Anand Vrindavani Mataji's story. So beautifully she said, she had a near-death experience where she died. And after that, she saw that Jagannath was always there with her. So she was not able to see Jagannath, but Jagannath was always with her from the time she started chanting Hare Krishna. And Jagannath was orchestrating his life. So the moment you start chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna is there right behind you. You are not able to see. And he's orchestrating everything. Now our life is not running out of karma. So for materialist people, the life runs through their karma. Whatever they do, the pious, impious act of the past life, they come. But as you become a devotee, Krishna is always there with you. And that's what you'll see. You will have reciprocation even to your thoughts. How many have seen? Even to your thoughts, you will get reciprocation. If you're thinking negative, kuch to gadbad hoga. And you're thinking wanting to do some service, that service will come to you. How many of you experienced like this? Right? Many devotees have experienced like this. Yes or no? Because Krishna is very much active in our life and he's just waiting. He's just waiting to reciprocate with us. Right? He's just waiting to reciprocate with us. So the Lord is always present with the devotee, knowing what is good for the devotee and wanting to help the devotee to come back to him. So the moment you have taken the beat back, Krishna also has hold you up. कि अभी मुझे इसको वापस लाना है. And therefore, when difficulty, whatever is coming in our life, we should take it as a mercy of the Lord. Because when we resent, we're resenting the mercy of the Lord. Like suppose when you're sick, doctor brings you Karela juice. Is good for us or bad for us? Good, but Karela juice. Right? So Karela juice is mercy or no? If your mother is bringing you sick and doctor told, oh, isko Karela juice. So is it mercy of the mother who is bringing the Karela juice or no? The same way in our life, sometime Karela juice will come, sometime mango juice will come. And when we are sick, when we are more sick, mango juice will come less, Karela juice will come more often. Isn't it? When we are sick, Karela juice will come more often and mango juice will come little rare. But when we become cured, then mango juice will be more and Karela juice will be less. So same way, the Lord gives different situations in our life to purify our wrong conceptions so that we come to Him. And this may happen through devotees also. This may happen through materialist people. This may happen through different people to give us what do we need in our life. And that's why to the degree we appreciate whatever happening in our life, the Krishna's mercy is there. So this is, and that's why the verse comes, Tatya Anukampa Sumshmana Panchanevam Kutam Vipakam. Itavaga Vapandi Vidha Namaste Jiveta Mukti Pada Sadayabha. Shri Rananda Sundamai ki jai. So Jiveta Mukti Pada. So to go back to Godhead, only one thing one has to do. When troubles come, difficulties come, just says, Lord, I'm yours. I'll continue to perform I'm suffering due to my own karma. Whatever problem is coming, I'm suffering due to my own karma, and let me keep performing your devotional service, hoping for your mercy. It just one does this. Brahmaji says that person has a rightful claim to the kingdom of God. Ticket back to Godhead. Want to purchase a ticket back to Godhead? This is a ticket. It's not a ticket of 1 crore rupees, 1 lakh rupees. It's a ticket when difficulties come, how you behave with them, that's a ticket to purchase a ticket back to Godhead. Ticket to Vaikuntha. And so Narad Muni now, he leaves to the north. And he comes, and that time he saw mines, factories, and other things. Papa said, it is not that these factories were there. Even the last Kalpa, this all were there. Mines and other things he saw us. And then finally he comes in the forest. He's alone. Nobody is there. But one person is there. You know who? Krishna. And Krishna is guiding constantly. And he goes and sits under a tree. And start meditating on the super soul. Start meditating on the super soul. He sits in meditation, absorbed, meditating on the super soul. He was trying on the Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. So beautiful So Bhagavatam talks about the form of the Lord in the heart. And he has heard this from the Bhakti Vedantas and he started meditating on the Lord. Now, if we start meditating, do we see the Lord? No. But he has left everything. He has surrendered to Krishna completely. Now completely dependent upon him. He has no mother, no father, nobody. Even wild animals come, he has nobody. He's only depending now Krishna. And because he was in that helpless state upon the Lord gave him darshan. The Lord gave darshan to Narad Muni. And that is why people will go to Vanaprastha or they will go to depend completely on the Lord. So to the degree we depend completely on the Lord, we are free. We are free. And that's what happened with, and our devotees had gone to bus party. I think they are today not there. Where? June they are there, okay. So Dinesh Prabhu, Arvind Prabhu, this devotee have gone. So they are selling. We got every day more than, see, I never could ever go to bus party. But they got in their first year of PDC to go to bus party for 15 days. And they went in Karnataka only. Karnataka, a lot of scope for preaching is there. Maharashtra, this is saturated. So they supponent devotees are coming to Karnataka for doing book research. So much scope is there because we are sitting right here. We are not going out. So they are gone to Bijapur for 15 days bus party. And they said what they wanted, they always got more than required. They don't know where night they will stay, from where food will come. Only bus had one good thing, the bus had a kitchen to cook. And there's a bus party of 9-10 devotees together. And they don't know that from where food will come, where they will stay in the night. Because bus mein to sona acha nahi lagta. And raat ko kahan soenge nahi pata. But every day, they got more food than required, more feast than the temple. And the more place of staying, more than they deserve, more than they expect. So Lord was perfectly taking care. So when we leave ourselves on the care of the Lord, that's a very blissful state. And that is now the life of Nag. His complete dependence on Krishna. See, why so many thoughts come while chanting? Because we are not dependent on the Lord. We have so many arrangements to make. But if you're dependent on Krishna, you can simply observe in chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna will take care. Just depend on the Lord. So Narada boy alone, he's going to the forest. He's going to the forest sitting and Lord gives him darshan because he's completely dependent upon the Lord. Till the time we are not completely dependent on the Lord will not give. But what is a benediction? See, because it's the blessings of great souls. See, if he would have alone gone, Lord would not have given him darshan. Because he got blessings of Bhakti Vedantas. And that's why we got darshan of the Lord. Same way, we also got blessings of Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhu. And if we follow the process given by him, Prabhupada said, you will see Krishna face to face. If you follow my instructions seriously. And following Prabhupada's instructions may not mean to going to forest. Maybe just be a sincere devotee. Just try to preach to the best of our capacity. Give this knowledge to others. Go for book distribution. Give this knowledge to others. Practice devotional service. Nice. Read Bhagavatam. The simple instruction, when we follow Srila Prabhupada, we'll also get the same mercy what Narad Muni gets. And what mercy Narad Muni gets here, he says, after that, under the shade of a banyan tree in an arbitrate forest, I began to meditate upon the super soul situated within, using my intelligence as I had learned from liberated souls. So as soon as I began to meditate upon the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead with my mind, transform and transcend to love. Tears rolled down from my eyes, and without delay, the personality goddess Shri Krishna appeared on the lotus of my ध्यायतश्चरणां भोजं भावनिर्जितचेतसा औत्कण्ठ्य अश्रुकलापक्षया हृदयासि मे शनि hari. Yeah, read this. Somebody with the mic.
The word bhava is significant here. This bhava stage is attained after one has transcendental affection for the Lord. The first initial stage is called Shraddha, or a liking for Supreme Lord. And in order to increase that liking, one has to associate with few devotees of the Lord. The third stage is to practice the prescribed rules and regulation of devotional service. This will dissipate all sorts of misgivings and remove all personal deficiencies that hamper progress in devotional service.
So he had attained the bhava stage. Premati bhara nirbhinna pulakango ati nirvitaha ananda samplavedino na pashyam bhayam mune.
Oh, at that time, being exceedingly overpowered by feelings of happiness, every part of my body became separately imbalanced. Being absorbed in an ocean of ecstasy, I could see neither myself nor the Lord.
Seeing the Lord, he got in so much of ecstasy. Read purport.
Spiritual feelings of happiness and intense ecstasies have no mundane comparison. Therefore, it is very difficult to give expression to such feelings. You can just have a glimpse of such ecstasy in the word of Sri Narayana. Each and every part of the body or sense has its particular function. After seeing the Lord, all the senses became fully awakened to render service unto the Lord. Because in the liberated state, the senses are fully efficient
in service of Allah. So now after seeing the transcendent form of the Lord satisfy the mind desire, at once erases all mental. Upon losing sight of that form, I suddenly got up, being perturbed. As is usual and loses that which is. So whatever beauty we want to see in our whole life, he saw that beauty. By seeing it, you don't want to see any other beauty in this world. And he was so charmed, so much affection for the Lord. And Lord disappeared. Lord disappeared. And then he was still perturbed, looking for it. And desired to again see the transcendent Lord. So again, he was trying to concentrate on the heart. Lord is not seen. That means we cannot see the Lord by mechanical efforts. Only by Lord's mercy we can see the Lord. So there's a zoom window here. Unless Lord opens the zoom video, you cannot see him. No matter whatever you do. Lord has a zoom audio and a video, which is muted and the video is off. Right? See, devotees' video is off, right? So we cannot see them. Those devotees' videos is off. Like Kripakar Prabhu's video is off. He may be cooking. Right? So because the video is off, you're not able to see them. And they will open video for some time, then we close it. So this is the way Lord showed to Narad Muni. Right? The video was on for some time, and then the Lord closed it. Lord closed the video. And the video was closed, right? So there's a zoom window here. And who has the operation button? See, even host cannot open the zoom video, right? Unless a person opens. So unless the Lord reveals, no matter whatever you do, unless he opens the video, you cannot see him. Until the time person will remain confused in his realization. Oh, who's God and what is there? And no matter how much you speculate, can you know who is there behind the video? You cannot know. So by jnana, you cannot understand him. Only if you please him. You know? Only if you please him. Then he will open the video. Here I can command a devotee to open it, others do not give you attendance or thing, devotees know. But there, unless Lord wants, he will not open that. And when he opens it, without any effort, you see the Lord face to face. And this happens when you serve a pure devotee of the Lord, and Lord is satisfied your devotional service. Now, in this case, because Narada boy left everything to complete shelter of the Lord showed him face to face. But Lord disappeared. देखो तुम्हें एक बार दिखाया है. So Lord wanted to put a desire. Like if you go Mayapur, you saw Radha Madhava first time, tears start coming, you know, feeling. And the first time. But then to get the same experience again and again, we have to endeavor, right? We don't get it. So this is how the Lord tricks the sadhakas. He'll give that much experience so they continue practicing. And somebody is not getting that much experience means yet he has not attained the mercy of the Lord. Or he has not surrendered his intelligence. Because illa time jnane prasam or the pasya namanta eva. Unless you give the jnane prayas, you cannot understand the Lord. Jivanti haranti shanamuk bhavadiya varta. So one should give his body, life, words, and mind to hearing the glories of the Lord. Shrutivana. Tanavistane sthite Shrutivana. Then he will get the Lord. If you dedicate to the hearing process about the Lord, then Krishna gives himself to the devotee. And you don't have to go to jungle, wherever you are. But if you try through Jnana Pirasa, it's not possible to understand the Lord in many, many lifetimes, millions of years. But giving up the Jnana Prayasa, simply hearing the Lord's glories with faith, giving up a word, life, hearing with attention and submission, one will see the Lord face to face the way Narada Muni got it. And Lord just gave a glimpse to increase his desire. So there's no mechanical process. And he says, Evam yatantam vijane mam aha gocharo giram gambhira sakshnya vacha shucha prasanyam. So seeing my attempt in that lonely place, the personal God was transcendent of my discussion. He spoke to me with gravity and pleasing words just to mitigate my grief. He said, Hantasmin janamani bhava mamam drishtomiyarati avikpava kasayana dudashoham puyogina. Lord said, I regret that during this lifetime you will not be able to see me anymore. Those who are incomplete in service and who are not completely free from our material trends can hardly see me. The word uses kasayanam and who? Yoginam. Now, Narada was in bhava there, but Lord wanted to increase his bhakti. And this spoke him. So two things Lord said, you are not complete in service. So we have to complete our service. We have to complete our service. Follow the instructions of the spiritual master. Means complete your service and purify your heart. Then one will be able to see the Lord. The one should satisfy the Supreme Lord. One should satisfy the Supreme Lord. That is what is required. And actually, many Prabhupada disciples have got that experience. With Prabhupada association, they start feeling Krishna as a person, as a reality. If within 6 months they develop so much attachment to the Lord. How? Because by association with Prabhupada, the Lord gave the glimpse about him to them. Even Brahmananda Prabhu writes, one day in a dream he saw Srila Prabhupada as a cowherd boy coming and a golden person coming. You see how many read in Leela? Prabhupada. Brahmananda Prabhu writes there. And he became very seriously. He took Prabhupada. He saw that Prabhupada is a spiritual personality coming in a golden form, and then and there. So many times, many devotees felt that experience with Srila Prabhupada, and immediately they got faith there. So I regret during this lifetime you will not be able to see me anymore. Those who are incomplete in service, who are not completely free from all material trends, can hardly see me. Emperor says, to be completely freed from all material tenders is to become free from the mode of goodness also. To serve the audience of God in a lonely forest is considered to be in the mode of goodness. One can go out in the forest to attain spiritual perfection, but does not mean that one can see the Lord personally there in the forest. One must be completely free from all mental attachment and be situated in the plane of transference, which alone will help the devotee get in personal touch with the personality of Godhead. The best method is that one should live at a place where the transcendental form of the Lord is worship. The temple of the Lord is transcendental place, where the forest is a materially good habitation. A neophyte devotee is always recommended to worship the deity of the Lord rather than go into the forest to search out the Lord. Devotional service begins from the pursuit of archan, which is better than going out in the forest. So in his present life, it is completely free from all mental hankering. Shri Narad Muni does not go into the forest, although he can turn every place into Vaikuntha by his presence only. He travels from one planet to another to convert man, gods, kinnaras, gandharvas, and others to become the devotees of the. And then afterward, oh, virtuous one, you have only once seen my person, and this is just to increase your desire for me. Because the more you hanker for me, the more you will be free from all mental desire. So this is a secret for advancing in spiritual life. You got one secret for advancing in spiritual life? Yes, what is the secret? Swapnil, what is the secret to advance in spiritual life? Surrender. Okay. Prabhupada was mentioning one in the translation only. Lord is mentioning one point. Why did I show this form to you? Yes, Shashank. You're able to see the screen from. Oh, we're not able to see the screen. Yes. But how freedom from mental desire will happen? The more we increase our hankering for Krishna. So this one quality devotees we learn from this. Two qualities we can learn from this whole pastime. One quality is when suffering comes, understand as a part of our own karma. Keep praying to the Lord, hoping for His mercy, and understand this problem is coming for some reason. Lord want to benefit. I don't understand. So this is first lesson we learn. Now, second lesson that the Lord is teaching, developing more hankering for the Lord. And by hankering for the Lord, the material desires will automatically go away. See, either you desire materially or you desire spiritually. If you desire for Krishna, there's no place for material desires because heart is one only. Na? In one heart, either Krishna or Maya. If you're desiring Krishna, there is no Maya. If you're not desiring Krishna, automatically Maya will come. We cannot be on the Brahman level. So the more we desire for Krishna, and how we can desire for Krishna? Okay, how we can desire more for Krishna? Oh, Krishna, please come in my dream, like that? No. How can I attend more class about Krishna? Isn't it? Like you thought, many devotees came morning 5 a.m. today. IC devotees came from the hostel morning 5 a.m. So a lot of desire, no? Saturday night you have to prepare your mind. Okay, morning we have to come, desire Krishna. No time to think for some gratification. Even mind will say, okay, watch a movie. Kya karenge? So go jaldi. Right? So more we desire to take devotional service to Krishna, more we want to take association of devotees, more we want to serve devotees, more we want to do preaching. You will see all mental desire will disappear automatically. You don't have to worry also about it. And you'll forget also there was a mental desire also in my heart. So this hankering you have to develop. How I can take lalyam tadapi mulyam. Yes, those who are students, they should do their studies also nicely for Krishna, isn't it? But remaining time, they should be a hanged. But the problem is when the time is off from studies, our mind goes to do something chill, some gappa ladana, some गप्पेबाजी or puzzle pa or some TV देख लो इधर चल लो और थोड़ा घर जाकर relax हो जाओ. Nobody is saying what am I doing, isn't it? So if we obtain that hankering for Krishna, see, not only a desire, I want to obtain Krishna in this lifetime. I want to serve the Lord. So that eagerness to hear about the Lord, eagerness to serve the Lord, to a degree we develop this hankering, that is a qualification to see the Lord. And whole life we live like this, hankering to hear about Krishna, hankering to chant his name, and hankering to serve him. Then at the end of this life, we'll be able to see Krishna face to face because that hankering will purify our heart. And that's why we need association of serious devotees who have that hankering for Krishna, engaging in Krishna service and talking about Krishna, hearing about Krishna there. And that hankering is something what makes us qualified for Krishna there. And that's what the lesson we can learn from this pastime of Narada boy becomes Narada Muni. And after that, Narada Muni goes, Narada Muni Bajaya Vina Radhika Raman. All over, he kept on preaching, singing the glories of the Lord all over the world. And then he left his body because at dissolution came, he entered the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And next life, again, he born as a son of a Brahma. And this time, Brahmaji did not curse him. He remained about Brahmachari in a Satchidanand body. Yes. Any questions? Yashantro joined from US. Any questions, Yashantro?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam.
1 second, I think 1 second, the monitor. Yeah, you can speak now, Yashantro.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam.
Pranam.
Prabhuji, I joined in between, listening.
Okay. What's the time there now?
Prabhu, it's 11:40 night, Prabhu.
Okay. Jai, your eagerness to hear Krishna. Oh.
Yes.
So all devotees are hearing you here.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna,
All
I am
other
blessed.
devotees.
Yes.
See, Haribol. Yes.
We see that the entire purpose of the creation is to give opportunity for the living entity to get reformed and go back to Godhead. And in one sense, Brahma is doing very big service of giving opportunity for everyone to go back to Godhead. But when his own son is becoming a brahmachari, then he curses him. And we see Daksha also has the same attitude. So if they are all working for the same cause.
But he did not curse Sanat Kumaras. He got some anger, but he did not show the anger because he understood that they are more advanced than me. Brahmaji understand that these Kumaras are, of course, they are more advanced. They don't want to get complicated. So he concealed the anger. And because of the anger, Rudra was born.
In the previous kalpa, he cursed his own son.
Nada. So this kalpa, he understood, I should not curse. So people learn the lesson. Like Daksha, when his 11,000 son became Brahmachari, the Narada, then he begot 60 daughters, no sons. So people learned the lesson. Yes. Any questions? No questions? Okay. So we end here. I think no questions come on Narada Muni's life. Huh? Okay, can I get
So Narada Muni was not praying for mercy or anything. So whatever happened, he just took it as
that as mercy.
So like, devotee sometimes, personally, I also feel like sometimes pray or something. So whatever is happening, it is happening. So still we can say that devotees should pray.
Pray for what? Pray to get more right attitude toward devotional service. More right attitude towards devotees. That we should.
And Lord will not feel like, okay, every time is thing.
Oh, Lord feels happy. Okay, see, sometimes the whole problems which are there in our life to bring us a point of surrender to Krishna. Like Gajendra, his life is a problem. But not just think if Gajendra cool, okay, Lord, whatever you want to do, you do. Lord, what come? No. Gajendra wholeheartedly took shelter of the Lord in that situation, Lord came. So when we wholeheartedly pray to Krishna, so initially, see what very amazingly happened in Gajendra's prayer. So initially, Gajendra prayed, Lord, remove from me this crocodile situation. But eventually, as his heart transformed, he said, Lord, don't just relieve me from this crocodile, you relieve me from the crocodile of Maya and release me from this bondage. So he elevated. That the time Lord came. If Gajendra would have been praying only just for releasing from crocodile, but when he transcended, he Lord, take me back home, back to God. And Lord came. So we have to evolve our prayers. So initially we may pray for setting our material situation right, setting our family life right. But that's a material prayer. But we pray to Krishna to develop a relationship with him, to become more sincere in chanting the holy name despite the situation, to become more sincere in reading Bhagavatam, to more sincere in serving the devotees. So those prayers are the evolved prayers in the life of a devotee, which may start due to the material circumstances. But you have to make the prayers on a transcendental platform. So Narada took his mother's death as mercy of Lord. So was it mental adjustment to think in that way? Because sometimes we try to do intellectual adjustment when difficulties come. So that not, or it is something else. See, it's not mental adjustment. Everything happening in this world is a plan of the Lord. So one way the prarabdha karmas are acting. But for a devotee, the prarabdha karmas don't act the way they are. They act only if Lord wants. So if Lord is giving the prarabdha karma, that's become the mercy of the Lord. And Lord removes the prarabdha karma, make it very small, that's the mercy of the Lord. So whatever comes in the life of a devotee is a mercy of the Lord. It's not a mental adjustment. It is a fact. And if Anandani Mataji was thinking like that only, okay, no problem, went away. People actually then she saw at the time of death, because Lord Jagannath was protecting her in all situations. So maybe if you have a near-death experience, then you will be able to realize it. Krishna is protecting, Krishna is there. Have that faith. He's there as Paramatma in our heart. He's saying each and every activity. He's there with us in every move. And that transcendental faith is very important in the path of bhakti, that he is watching, he's seeing. Even the moment you're making garland for the Lord, Lord is watching, you're making for him. You're making his dresses, the Lord is seeing that you're making the dress for him. He's there present in every act of our devotional service. And you are just chanting our japa without thinking of him. He's watching that also. That you're absent-minded and whatever what you're doing. So that faith is our actual advancement in spiritual life. Right?
You told like if you are doing the concept, I heard like you say that while you are having passion or anything, you have to engage in Krishna service.
If you're having any
Passion or
engaging Krishna service.
Discussion that you told like if you are doing some service for own passion, then Lord will not take care of.
So what was the point of discussion? You do your service so passionately, don't take care of your health. So you're doing service more out of your passion than to please the Lord. and then your health gets disturbed. Then you say, okay, Lord did not protect me. First of all, you did service on a Karma Yoga platform offered to Krishna. Bhakti Yoga means you do what is pleasing to Krishna. On see Krishna says, Ananya Chintayanto Mam Yajana Paripasade Tesham Nitya Nittam Yogshemam Vahmiyam. I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. So that means Krishna will also protect the health of devotees. But if out of my own passion, I doing things without Ananya Chintayanto Mam, will Krishna do it? May not. And then I may think, why did not Krishna protected me? He says Yogshemam Vahmiyam. Because it was not in a platform Ananya Chintayanto Mam. If something is told by spiritual master and you remember, because spiritual master has told me that's how I should do. Even you extend, then Krishna protects us. But when you do on our account, Krishna teaches us a lesson. Arey Baba, don't do so much passionate work. It's not needed. Right? Okay. When some devotee leaves the body due to accident and due to that some new devotee leave bhakti, how it is good for those new devotees? Actually, new devotees should be trained from the beginning, like the way we are talking. When there may be so many new devotees, old devotees. So if you, it just depend on our training. From day one, we should train them how to see the cycle of birth and death. So if you just train them without training in this jnana, people develop a logical faith. So how we train upon people, they will not leave when they see the reversals. That's the whole point. Our training should be like that. So in great difficulties, if I turn to Lord, you're not using God as a tool, Baba. God is a person, he's not a tool. Right? And he reciprocates. Tool don't reciprocate, but God reciprocates. So when difficulties come, we should take shelter of it. And it's an act of devotion. It will become the source of devotion. It may not start, it may come as a part of desire to get relief. It may be in the category of artho. Right? Artho, artharti, jnani cha, bharashabha. Jagyasu, jnani cha, bharashabha. 4 times of people approach me. So approaching the Lord out of distress is artharti. But as Ganjendra was also artho. But as he keep talking the prayers, that prayers brought him on a transcendental level. So when out of distress we take the shelter of the Lord, then by taking shelter of the Lord, chanting more rounds, that brings us on a transcendental level and we forget the problem and take more shelter of the Lord. And that is the success of our taking shelter of the Lord in a problem. And that's whether you have it the same way. Dhruva, he started to worship the Lord out of desire. But he got so absorbed in bhakti, he forgot the desire. So yen ken prakaran mana Krishna kama sar kamava moksha kama dharhi tivrena bhakti yogena jayanti purusha param. So one should take shelter of the Lord, no matter whatever the situation. Yes. And this is fine.
So if somebody has come in devotional service, that means somehow either through causeless mercy or from their previous life, if they have done some bhakti, they come into the bhakti path. But sometimes we see that it takes time. For the starting years, we are not there in devotional service. So does karma or prarabdha,
Starting here, we are not in devotional service means?
like we take up after some time?
No, we start chanting, right? Or we start taking chanting after
No,
some
like
time.
we come in association of devotees after a certain period of time, like after during college time or after college, those times. So does karma or prarabdha play a role in the time when we come in association of devotees?
It may play or not. It may play that role and it may not play that role because Jiva's free will is always there. So you may get association of devotees based on some bhakti punya in last life. But how you utilize it, it's your free will again. You may utilize it nicely or you may not utilize it nicely. It's your free will.
Opportunity comes later on in some times. Like if it comes for after 20 years or 25 years, that opportunity
To become brahmachari is not there. Because whatever time you got bhakti, it's same late than never. Ajamila got at 88 years. He realized his mistake. 12 years he went on back to Godhead. So he was worshipping the Lord till 23 years. Then he got deflected by a prostitute. Again, he got that chance at 88 years of time. And when he got that chance, 12 years he finished off the business and went on back to Godhead. So, and no, this Ajamil also said, what I do, now I am married to a prostitute, what can I do? I said, hey, what are you doing? He left to Haridwar immediately in that situation. So because he was prostitute, he left it. If it was a husband and wife, then they both practice sincerely bhakti. But it's one's own determination. It's not prarabdha. See, prarabdha will keep you in material world life after life. Like if you say, oh, wow, Prabhu, what is my prarabdha? Now I have this kind of job, I have this kind of wife, I have this kind of this. How will I practice bhakti? Then remain in the material world for life after life. Only when I'm ready to take shelter of Krishna, despite my prarabdha, which is not favorable, then Krishna cuts the mrityu sansar, tesham samudharta mrityu sansara sagra. I take them out from the mrityu saga, which is made of the prarabdha karmas, and I deliver them and take it. So blaming our prarabdha karma is the worst thing we can do in bhakti. They will never take us to the abode of the Lord. Will keep us in the cycle of birth and death, life after life. Next life also you will ask the same question. Of course, I am also some too like this. So, oh, what I can do? My health is not good. I cannot serve. So we all have our comfort zones, and that's what all of us have to fight it out to become serious in Krishna consciousness. Right? So never it's late. That's what the Bhagavatam is talking about. Gajendra was an animal body. Think about his prarabdha, his situations. He took complete shelter of the Lord. So whatever the situation is, right now is the situation to take shelter of Krishna. Right now. This moment. It's not that that moment will come. This is the right moment to take shelter. And the moment you take it, Krishna will reciprocate. That moment, Lord will appear. Tashanat.
My question was, does it play a role in previous karmas? Does play a role that at what time we will come in association of devotees or not?
Yes, it may play a role. Like what I have studied according to astrology, there are certain times where mind will be more favorable to accept pious activities. Their mind will be more favorable to accept pious activities. And when that time you get devotee association, it happens very fast. And how it happens? In your past life, when you have done, like what my study says, in my, see, one thing is a causeless mercy of the devotees that they give us their association. We cannot take it for granted that I deserve it. Right? So it's not we deserve it. But according to my prarabdha karmas, what happens, a different cycle goes of the mind. Like there is a cycle of the 7 planets. So at a right, but one of the planets will be favorable for bhakti. And if that planet is there in the position when you receive devotee association, so devotee association is a causeless mercy. But when you are in a right situation, you take it, then what happens? Then what happens? More favorable. And then you take it up. But suppose, like in my life, I got devotee association many times. But when the right time was there, I was looking for Krishna in my life. A point of time came that by the difficulties in my life, I started inquiring about God. And that was the time the Ketu Dasha had come in my chart. It has come from some past life Sukriti, some past life Bhakti Sukriti, that I was actually wanting to know who was God. But before that, I was not able to know. And that time, when devotees came, I picked up very seriously. But after I come in devotee association, now I will practice bhakti not by past life Sukriti. I have a free will now. That connection might have happened due to causes mercy of devotees and my past life Sukriti. But now my advancement in spiritual life is based on my free will. So free will is never hampered. But your interest in bhakti would come at a particular time of age. Like my sister was not a devotee before. But then after some time she became a devotee when difficulties come in her life. She will make fun of me, what are you doing? Baith ke jap kar rahe ho. Now she chants more. Some other mantras, whatever pujas she do, she'll become more religious. Now she understood the cycle of birth and death. She understood the law of karma. Previously she would make fun of. क्यों उनके लाइफ में वो प्रॉब्लम आया? Then his Sukriti got ripe to take devotional service. Same way you see many of the jivas were wandering. Like when COVID came, many of the people took to bhakti. In future, Krishna will give some a bigger slab. So most of the population will take to bhakti. And that's how the golden age will come. So they are waiting for that right amount of Sukriti, which is created by the misery sometimes, to take up bhakti, to become humble and take shelter of the Lord. And that's how that phase will go on. Okay, so we end here. But in answering your question, I'm answering another question, which is very important for the understand that how our free will is there. So your question was different, but I answered a different question for the benefit. Your question triggered a different question for the benefit of all devotees. There. Grantha